you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to just respectfully respond to my colleague and give you an opportunity to actually respond as well, Mr. Secretary. When I look back over the last 4 years of the Biden administration, it was failed policies for our agriculture industry. Number one, President Biden walked away from the trade deals and the trade gains that President Trump had gotten for our ag industry. Number two, with record high inflation, it hit our farmers worse than anyone. Both the war on energy of the Biden administration, plus the amount and the payment of equipment, plus the fact that input cost had literally been frozen, and the Biden administration failed to pass a farm bill, didn't even try. So here you had record high cost with energy, equipment, labor, inflation, and then you cap what they can make. And I don't remember one person on the other side of the aisle saying, let's move a farm bill. Let's help these people. Let's drive down energy cost. And so I would just like to say, Mr. Secretary, I feel like our ag industry is at the forefront of what we're looking at right now, and I would like to give you an opportunity to respond.
Well, one of the things I will respond to is that in my first meeting with my Chinese counterpart, the vice premier, I asked him, under the phase one purchase agreements, they were actually exceeded in 2020, signed in January 2020. The level of the agreement was exceeded every time President Trump has spoken with Party Chair Xi. He suggested he buys more soybeans, and slowly that tapered off. And we said, why? He said, Biden didn't enforce. Biden didn't enforce the purchase agreements.
Yeah, walked away from it. So speaking of something else we walked away from in the Biden administration was actually being tough on Iran when it came to sanctions. I appreciate the maximum pressure strategy that President Trump has gone back to. I'd like to ask you, what more can we be doing as we see us place pressure on the Ayatollah, who is no friend of the United States of America, and as we see what he is doing to the citizens of his own country and the streets, what more can we be doing to make sure that we are placing the pressure that we need to on the greatest state sponsor of terrorism, and that is the Ayatollah and Iran?
Well, what we can do at Treasury, and what we have done is created a dollar shortage in the country. At a speech at the Economic Club of New York in March, I outlined the strategy. It came to a swift and I would say grand culmination in December, when one of the largest banks in Iran went under. There was a run on the bank. The central bank had to print money. The Iranian currency went into free fall. Inflation exploded, and hence we have seen the Iranian people out on the street. We will continue monitoring all the partners, all the Iranian partners. The good news, Senator, is that we have seen, and we can see it with our fencing, we have seen the Iranian leadership wiring money out of the country like crazy. So the rats are leaving the ship, and that is a good sign that they know the end may be near.
I want to switch quickly to regulatory tailoring. It is obviously my belief that proper tailoring actually ensures that supervision is grounded in economic reality rather than subject ideology. Can you speak a little bit to the work that you and IFSOC agencies are doing to more properly calibrate our regulatory framework, whether it's capital rules or stress testing or even adjusting to outdated thresholds?
Again, we are looking at all the thresholds. One thing that happened, too big to fail became too small to succeed, as Senator Hagerty said, and we don't want to see more of our small banks go under. What we want to see before the great financial crisis and this excessive regulation on the system was we would see about 50 new banks formed every year, by definitionally small banks, and we need to get back to doing that. We need to get back to small banks. I was talking to a community banker, 17 employees, 3 compliance people.
And last, I've got 30 seconds, but there have been claims made by the other side of the aisle, even tweets put out. I can provide that for you if you need that. But some pretty serious accusations, and saying, we have a tweet actually from the ranking member that says, and I want you to be able to correct the record if this is true, but essentially claims that the IRS has gutted enforcement and dismantled the DOJ or forced tax fraud investigators to actually stop doing their job. Does that have any legitimacy at all? Because I think that gives us all concern if that's the truth.
Complete sophistry. We've identified $10 billion in tax crimes, up 15% from 2024, $4.5 billion tax fraud, up 110% from last year.
Thank you.
Thank you.